Sunday, January 19th, nearly 5 p.m. I'm taking this t-shirt here out for a spin the last time I can. Unless Jeb runs for president, or maybe Jenna in 20 years. She could. I don't know that this t-shirt will still be around when that happens, but I gotta retire it soon. Funny thing is, I bought this t-shirt in the summer of 2004 at the last Lollapalooza that was ever in LA. And I thought it might only be good for a couple of months, but it was on sale, so I was hoping it would only be good for a couple of months, and then fucker got reelected. But now he's gone. Mr. Bush, thank you for your service to your country. I wish you'd done a better job, a much better job. With all things ending at the moment, it seems, Indy 103, a great station in LA, just suddenly stopped. For those who didn't know, it was a station that allowed guys like Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols or Henry Rollins to have their own show where they played whatever they wanted, literally, from like really obscure world music to commercial jingles to 70s hits. It didn't turn out to be as profitable, I guess, as they had hoped, and so now it's gone. Andy Klein, a friend and a mentor of sorts, was let go from LA City Beat this week, which was kind of shocking, really, because he did a lot of work for not a whole lot of money. I can only assume that they're in real trouble. I don't think they'll be around a year from now. I don't think OC Weekly will be around a year from now. I'd say the LA Weekly and The Voice might survive. I don't know about a lot of others. We really are kind of facing the demise of print media. LA Times just jacked up their price to 75 cents, and they're less than half the size they used to be. Relatively speaking, 75 cents isn't that much. I remember the Asheville Citizen-Times used to be like $1.35 or something, and it's thinner than the OC Register. That was in the days when print media was supposedly healthy. So, I don't know where we're going, but there are things that I really worry about when we talk about switching to the internet for everything. Because I like to read a newspaper over lunch in a burger joint, usually. I don't think you can really do that with a laptop. And I don't like the idea that a laptop's going to be mandatory, because there are poor people who can't afford them. I guess the price will go down eventually. I mean, even every poor person, has a TV, right? So, I guess maybe a laptop will be like that. Or maybe there'll be restaurants that'll have, like, digital newspapers right there embedded in the table. That'd be something. That could work. A lot of people seem to be solely blaming New Times for the demise of everything, which I think is wrong, because Mike Lacey is not the only person laying people off. Everywhere is doing it. It sucks that people are being laid off. I don't think what he's doing is substantially different than what most papers are doing. But hey, I'm still drawing a paycheck from LA Weekly, so maybe I'm on the take. But it really does suck that everyone's losing their jobs right now, and that the field seems to be going into obsolescence. I'm not sure what the solution is, honestly. Someone suggested to me the other day that newspapers should be run as non-profits. That's not a bad idea. Because as I understand it, newspapers actually do kind of make a profit. They just make less profit than they used to. So the shareholders don't like that. And that's why it's interesting that newspapers are reacting really counterproductively to the decrease in demand. It's like if the Mars company said, okay, you know what? People aren't buying Snickers bars anymore. So here's what we'll do. We'll make the Snickers bar smaller, we'll increase the price, and we'll take out all the peanuts. That'll work. That'll boost our sales and profits. No, it won't. No, it won't. But, if we do end up switching all alt weeklies to the web, there may be a bonus in that for film critics, and I'll tell you why. Because it makes sense when you have a print empire to syndicate film critics. Because a movie's a movie, right? It's the same movie everywhere. But online, it doesn't make as much sense, because if you want someone to click on both laweekly.com and villagevoice.com, you got to give them something different. And if they're the same film reviews at both, and I'm just reading your paper for the film reviews, I'm not going to go to both. So if I were in charge of the brand, and maybe it's a good thing I'm not in charge of the brand, because I'm not a business dude, then I would be thinking, I would like to build a loyal fan base who will click on every one of my websites, all 15 Village Voice papers. So, how do I do that? Well, maybe a different film critic in each one, so that I will go on and read a bunch of different takes. It's one idea. Maybe you just have, one main critic at each paper, and then syndicate the secondary reviews. I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting idea. Obviously, I have a personal stake in that. But if it does switch to all online, that's something I could see happening in the future, maybe. But it is a big change to lose print media. And I fear that we're going to a point where everyone's just going to get their news from partisan bloggers, and that's not good for anybody. It's good that the internet can reveal some things that the mainstream media doesn't, but there's also a lot of shit out there. And when you read a paper, you read a bunch of stuff you might not have looked at otherwise because it's all there. People reading stuff online, they only read what they're looking for, usually, or maybe click on related links. They don't often just come across something completely random that you wouldn't have searched for, wouldn't have thought to search for. And I like that about newspapers. But that's just my old-fashioned way of thinking, I guess. Now, to respond to some of the reader suggestions on my last post, as you can see, I did put in an intro, counting the seconds till one or other of my uncles takes issue with the use of motherfucker in it. But, this is me. Sorry, Crid, I don't know how to get a convertible to drive down the beach in, so I'm not doing that. Besides, this is an aesthetic. I'm going to be like the Lars von Trier of vlogs, where I'm going to claim that the cheapness and offensiveness of what I do is not a matter of necessity, but rather a deliberate aesthetic, which I will call Dogshit09, maybe. And I don't know why I didn't think to call these Lytv before. Most obvious fucking thing in the world. Oops. Foul language there again. Sorry, guys. That's just me, y'all. Anyway, let me know what y'all think of this one, and I'll probably keep doing these. It seems like I got a thing going. Talk later.